Hey guys.
Hey.
Welcome back to Real Scenario.
We got it together this week.
We did. Look at us.
Yes. Anybody else you think we should get to do it? What about Ray J?
Listen, Ray J looked like he was having a good time.
He was.
I ain't mad at that.
One of them. One of whatever he's having.
All of us have been there before, to where you just having how you sound don't matter. You just enjoying yourself.
That's right. Whatever.
Having fun.
YOLO. If YOLO was a person, it would be.
Did you see them put the church song over the dance?
I did. Of course I did. Whew, may the memes live forever. We love those viral moments. We love those viral moments. Well, welcome back.
We got a good scenario here for you today.
We do. Very interesting. Maybe a topic that's a little near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
So let's get into it. Hey, y'all. My name is Catrice, and I have recently been ghosted, I think, for lack of a better word. Here's the backstory. So about 8 months ago, I began to text and talk to this guy I met at work on a regular day-to-day basis. He and I would always talk at work, and I began to really enjoy our convos. They would always be very interesting, never a dull moment. That, first of all, it's so many chows in this. Yeah. I just like, hey, girl, chow. I'm gonna skip the chow, but chow, I understand. That made me become attracted to this guy just off of his mindset and his outlook on different topics. Mind you, I never looked at him this way beforehand. My best friend, who also worked for the company, would tell me how she thinks we go good together, but I always brushed her off because I never saw that. Anyway, I basically ended up really liking this man, and the first time we talked on the phone, I pretty much told him I was interested in him. So I feel like he knew what it was from the jump. We continued to talk within these 8 months. He never asked to take me out on an actual date. I would sometimes suggest things or hint at a date, but still nothing. We never seen each other outside of work. Child, not even a hug. So that would have me questioning, does he like me, or is he just being a nice guy? But I'm telling you all, the convos were sometimes flirty, but never sexual. And I actually liked that about him. He was never disrespectful, always a gentleman. Well, later down the line, the communication slacked up. No more morning hour long conversations. No texting, nothing. Even when I'd see him at work, he'd basically ignore me. I never questioned him about it. I guess because I'm just a passive aggressive person and I like to avoid conflict when it comes to situations like this. I really grew a liking for this man. I cared for him, and I really thought he'd have the decency to let me know if he was dealing with someone. A woman would call the work phone for him. We work in an environment where no cell phones are allowed. Mind you, he never got calls in the beginning. So I did some research and found out that the woman calling was someone he used to mess with. Not sure the level of the relationship, but they definitely had relations in the past. My question to you guys is, should I reach out to him to see why he handled things the way that he did, or should I just move on? It's been months and he will see me and not say one word. And the man still has the nerve to watch every story I post on Instagram from a fake page, might I add. Just because someone talks to you every day and seems concerned and interested in what you have going on in life, does that mean they like you? Or was I just a placeholder until he got back with his boo? Let me know, y'all.
My goodness.
What to do?
There's so much with this. I had to bring out the receipts here so I can go through this. Well, we'll start with question one. As you guys know, we start with our questions.
The shade.
Love you,
Thanks
Catrice.
for writing in, Catrice. We appreciate it. We're going to break this thing down piece by piece.
Question one for you.
Yes.
Should Catrice reach out to him, or should she just move on?
Definitely should just move on.
She should just move on.
Just like Puff and Bryson Tiller. Get in your bag, stay in your bag. You got to move on, baby. It was barely anything to move on from. Can I expound on this for a second?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we'll agree on this one.
Like, I'm gonna take another page out of Dre's book. This is my camera. Where's my camera? Ladies, every situation doesn't require closure from the other person. Sometimes you just gotta close the door and leave it alone. Let it go. Don't go searching for the answers. You have them already. This is nothing. And it is done. Okay? Love you. Love you.
That was perfect.
Yeah, stop. Stop.
Yeah. I mean, let's break this down. This is a line that stuck out to me here. But I'm telling you all, the convos were sometimes flirty, but never sexual. And I actually like that about him. He never disrespected, always a gentleman. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So you're basing all this off of sometime flirty conversations?
And daily conversations.
But that were sometime flirty.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Not every time.
Not most of the time.
Sometimes flirty.
Yes. Dre, go ahead, just say it, because I know it's just right on the tip of your tongue. And sometimes on our show, listen, we never want to. I'm gonna set it up for you so you can say it exactly how you need to say it. So get yourself prepared. Sometimes on this show, and Dre and I are really good-hearted people, and we are not in the business of hurting people's feelings, and we really appreciate when you guys write into us. So we want that to keep happening, but we're going to make this a good service for you. We're going to have to be honest with you. And you may not always like the truth. You may not always like our truth for your situation.
Yes.
Dre, you have the floor.
Well, thank you, Rhonda.
You're welcome.
I've said this on the show before. Number one is that people can say anything to serve their own self-interest, right? Mm-hmm. I play in the NBA. I'm a billionaire. I'm an attorney. I'm
playing the organ.
I'm 6'7". I'm 7 foot. I got $1 million in my bank account. Like, I can say anything to serve my self-interest.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go. Sorry. It's given organ.
But the thing that's ultimately going to tell what I do, how I feel, is the actions that I take.
Correct.
Just why do people refuse to look at people's action and take that as their word? We always say, we learned when we were younger, communication is what? 90% or 95% nonverbal. Somebody is telling you something even though they're not speaking to you. So why are you waiting for somebody to tell you, I don't want to be with you anymore? Or I am not interested in you that way. Mm-hmm. Why are you waiting for them to say that out of their mouth when they are showing you with their actions? Mm-hmm. They're telling you non-verbally, which is more concrete. If I tell you I can change your tire, the thing that really like puts what's the word I'm looking for? The thing that really confirms that I can change your tire is me actually changing the tire.
Yep.
I can say it. That doesn't mean that I can actually do it. But once you see me do it, then you know from the action that I perform that what I said actually matches what I can actually do.
Yep.
So if you are in a situation with somebody and no matter what they're saying or how you feel like how you feel like the words that are coming out their mouth are coming or you're receiving those, if their actions aren't matching that, then they already told you everything you need to know. So what is closure? Is closure them saying more words to make you feel better? What are the words? That's the thing that I don't get sometimes about people wanting closure is that the words of the person in the past haven't served you at all. But then to close the door, you want more words.
No.
The words that they already said to you have shown not to be true, but in order to get closure in a situation, you want more words from them.
You want them to lie more. You giving them room to lie to you more or to gas you up to make you feel, I don't know, maybe better about yourself or your decision. Closure, I learned through therapy, happens for yourself by yourself most of the time. It does not even usually involve the other party. And to Dre's point, this man was showing you in behavior and in action that he wasn't necessarily as into you. And I think, Dre, to answer I think when you first started talking, you said, why do we put so much weight on what people say if their words don't align? Like, it's all about action. Using your words is an actual action, but that cannot be what you rest everything on. Like, words, they matter. They absolutely matter.
I agree.
But if what they do is outside of that action of speaking is completely different or exceptionally different, like maybe not 100% different, but it's different enough, yo, that's it. That's it. You are not only going to hear loved, you're going to feel love. You are not only going to hear someone say they appreciate you, you will feel appreciated.
And that's my biggest thing. It's not that words aren't a form of communication. It's just that actions are a form of communication as well.
Yes.
And if somebody has shown that it has shown their words not to be true, stop waiting for more words to confirm whatever thing you want to hear.
Yeah.
It's
just going to hurt you more.
It's just going to hurt you. So pay attention to the actions. If they're showing you something, then you should already know what it is. Now it's up to you to accept what you're hearing.
Sure.
Or what you're seeing, I should say. But yeah, people show you with their actions how they truly feel. Yeah. And in this situation, Catrice, it wasn't nothing. I can tell you that. Like,
damn.
It wasn't.
Damn. It wasn't nothing, girl.
It wasn't anything. He never. I think that people can enjoy conversing with somebody. I think people underestimate how much people like attention. Like, especially if they know somebody's into them or that somebody likes them. They just like being around somebody who's like
making them feel good.
Making them feel good.
Yep.
And then they'll flirt with you back and stuff like that because it makes them feel good. Ultimately, it's self-serving. And people will do that. So don't underestimate that. But I don't think that there was ever really a romantic anything. Yeah. Because a lot of times, as we talked in a previous episode, when it comes to men approaching women, sometimes men are fearful of that because of fear of rejection. But now the door has been opened. You've already expressed that you're into him, that you want to communicate with him. And y'all have over, 8 months? Y'all have never met up outside of work.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it. And the hard truth is that if you really liked him and y'all really wanted to date, you both wanted that would have happened.
Yeah.
Y'all literally worked in the same place, for God's sakes. What's a happy hour when you leave work together? How hard would it actually be? He knows where you are majority of the day because he's there with you. Like, I mean, did he ever even just set up maybe you don't set up a date at work because that you don't want people in your business and that could be fraternizing depending on who you work for. But come on now. Like, I do think respectfully and y'all, I say it all the time, I will raise my hand. And I think that's what helps you all connect with me and Dre, is that we're going to be honest with you about where we made good decisions, but also where we've made bad decisions. I have been in a place where I'm like, you want somebody to like you, or you want to believe that by conversing with you for hours upon hours that there's more there. But you did have enough signs to see that this is not what it was. And I also just want sometimes, and somebody gonna say that I'm being petty, I don't care. But I do feel like sometimes women, we have to get mad enough to just walk away from something. Like, you have to be mad enough. Like, you don't got to take it out on him. You don't have to let him know that and another thing, you don't have to do all of that. But you have to be you have to be on fire for what you believe that you deserve. You don't deserve for a man to hold up hours and hours and hours of your day on the phone and not think enough of you to just take you out for a coffee date, for a donut. The hell would even take you to a whole dinner? I mean, 8 months, you deserved. Child, people done been on trips in 8 months and all you got was phone conversation.
Rings, everything.
You got to get on fire about not accepting less than what you want and what you deserve in any situation. If it was going to be friends and we just homies and you talk to your homeboy a couple hours a day, cool. But if that's not really what you want, wrap that thing up. Hey, coworker, how you doing? You good? All right, then I gotta run, because you got to go get on the phone with the man that's going to take you out on the date, honey. That's what you got to do.
I think the most important thing here, which wasn't included in this message, is you expressed how you felt about him. What was the response?
All right.
What did he say back? Because if he just kind of brushed it off, or if he said thank you.
Oh my God, not the thank you.
Thank you.
Not the thank you.
I've been in this position before as a man.
Okay.
To where there was a woman that was very much interested in me. I did tell her that I wasn't interested in that way. But I would always converse with her. We were like I thought we were just friends. Like, we were cool. We would talk all the time. I enjoyed being around her. I enjoyed her company, but I didn't like her in that way.
Right.
But she would get jealous if she saw me with other people. She would because I guess maybe we flirted a little bit or joked around or things like that. And in that time, let me be honest, I was not I used to, I like the attention. So I would sometimes know what I was doing. Like, so even sometimes I'd be like, I mean, if I get drunk, who knows what could happen? Like, or something like that. Like, like toxic stuff.
Yes.
But I'm just saying is that in those situations, that dude, he ain't, if you waiting for that one day for the stars to align, maybe he'll do something like physically, but a relationship is just that's not happening.
No, and like he's so lame. Like y'all still work together. He sees you and doesn't say anything to you at work when this is your actual coworker. So before this even grew to what it did grow to, y'all talked. Like, damn, like what's the problem? And I couldn't gather, and I don't think so. Like y'all didn't even have sex. Y'all didn't even do anything.
Oh no, there was nothing sexual.
Yeah, so it's like,
you know what? Sometimes
why are you not speaking to me? He's whack.
I'm not saying that. Here's devil's advocate, and this is no shade at all to a listener of ours and somebody who wrote in. I don't know what the situation is, but I've been in a situation to where you're doing something and somebody starts to get a little clingy and you're like, yo, like I need you. But then you keep hitting me up and keep hitting me up and keep hitting me up. So then it's kind of like almost like avoiding that person sometimes. Cause it's like, I don't want to, now it feels mad awkward. Like every time I see you, it just feels weird. So I don't know if that's the situation, but I know I've been in a situation similar and that has been like a thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So I feel like we answered more than question one, but we went off on a tangent because I don't like how he's trying to play with you, even though to some degree you showed him that he could play with you a little bit.
So let's go to question 2. And we may kind of answer this, but we can answer it more direct. If someone regularly engages in conversation with you and flirts with you, does that mean that they like you?
No. I mean, it means that they like you, but it doesn't mean that they like you romantically. They like you enough to talk to you.
There's a show, Hey Arnold. I don't like you, Arnold. No, I don't like you, Arnold. I just like you.
I just like you. Yeah. There is a difference in the single versus double use of a word. Yeah. So yes, they can like you as a person. They could even like you in the moment. They could like you romantically in the moment. And then something could happen and something could change. And now they don't like you anymore.
I done had some things that happened and it was like outside of that night, I don't think it would have happened.
Right.
But like that night,
I
don't know what it was. Like we was feeling each other, like whatever. It was just that night. So that Rhonda is correct that it's like at moments maybe there will be times, but yeah,
I've dated someone who like was just pen paling me constantly. Like it just always wanted to just message me or talk on the phone and be like, yo, I like you so much. Like would even say things like, I want to be with you and blah, 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 but it never went beyond that.
Yeah.
And of course, I stuck in it longer than I should have, but I just had to say to them, like, that if you just did the things that you keep saying, you wouldn't have to say it so much. You wouldn't even have to like keep selling it to me. I would actually just feel it and experience it. Like, don't let people string you along with words, and don't let anyone put you in a corner of, well, if I'm drunk or if I fall into this, then cool. If that's not really what you're down with and not into, hoping for a drunk night, then like, no, like, I don't know what else he could have been looking for in you for it to turn the page for him. But Lord, 8 months talking every day, hours on the phone, and you see each other at work all day long.
Yeah, I would say that's one of the things what we're talking about in this thing, and I want to give a message to people about. Be careful of attention seekers because they will do anything to keep your attention.
Come on.
And those things will resemble a relationship. They'll resemble somebody who likes you. They'll resemble somebody who wants to commit to you, all to keep your attention on them. And then the moment that you start to drift away, they'll do something else to get you right back. But the thing is that their actions will never
tear this room up in here. Shatta, boy, shatta.
The thing is that their actions will never sustain, though. That's why they have to do rash things to get you back. Because if you look over a certain amount of time, you'll see their actions don't match up to what they're telling you or what they are expressing to you. What they just want is your attention. They don't want a relationship. Sometimes it's not even sex. They just want your attention. They want your attention to be fixed on them, nothing else. They want you to praise them. They want you to tell them how good they look, how amazing they are. Like, they want your attention on them. They want you to almost like beg. Like, for somebody like that, it's like they almost like the feeling of, you're like, well, what do I have to do?
What
or
do
like,
I have to do to make you like me more?
Why don't you like me? Or like, they like that. Why are you not talking to me? They want that because they want the attention. The moment you stop giving them attention, they'll be like, oh, where's this person at? And they'll try to do something else to get your attention back. So beware of those people who are looking to gain your attention. And that's it, because it's going to resemble a lot of things that you think are like a relationship or moving towards a relationship. But the reality is that it's not.
They ain't nothing but bloodsuckers and vultures, baby. Run. The best way, again, here's a little more advice. Just deprive them.
Yeah.
And if then somehow like they don't want to deal with you anymore because you don't give them as much attention, then you know what you had on your hands. Dating is a risky experience. I said that on a previous episode, because it's not only you don't know how this is going to work out, but sometimes you really do have to use strategy.
Yeah.
You have to use strategy to cut through finding who is here with good intentions and who is here with bad intentions. Sometimes you really have to set some tests out, throw some things out there and see how they react to it. Ask certain questions and see how they react to it. Like, don't talk to them for a couple of days. For like sure. This whole coworker, you see each other all day, then you get on the phone and you talk to each other all day. What would happen if you didn't talk to him for a couple of days across that weekend, maybe that you guys are off? What would happen? Like, sometimes I've even call it petty. Again, I don't care. That you don't call them first. You don't initiate the communication because you're just trying to see how much am I giving?
Trying to gauge.
Yeah. How much am I giving versus getting? And it's not always going to be 50-50 100% of the time, but it should feel like a good give and take. It should feel like a really good give and take. And it sounds like here, while you both were giving up conversation, he was just an attention seeker, like Dre said, and bloodsucker, vulture. Again, run.
Or maybe he just wasn't into you like that.
It's possible. And you could have also been.
You were reading those things a little wrong.
Yeah. Yes.
That's possible as well. Yeah. I mean, to answer your question, we talked about this in the last episode. People harmlessly flirt all the time. And I don't think that there's an issue with kind of seeing where something goes, right? But it's all about your expectation. If you are like, I'm just going to be friends with this person. If it goes somewhere, it does. If it doesn't, then it doesn't.
Right.
Then there's nothing wrong with that. But once you add the expectation of wanting to be in a relationship or expecting him to do something, then it becomes like you're now disappointed when he doesn't do that, or he moves on, or if he doesn't keep talking to you. But I think there are plenty of people who are just friends and they have a friendship and maybe they're attracted to a person or something like that, but they're not like pressing for that. It's kind of like, if it happens, it happens. But if not, like, this person's cool. Like, yeah, I'm just enjoying their company. I enjoy the conversation that we have. And I think that's the biggest thing. We talked about this in the last episode as well, is that every situation is not relationship or bust. It's like sometimes you're just meeting genuinely nice people. And from what you're saying, you said he's a nice guy. The conversation is great. It's somebody you have stuff in common with. You said initially you never even thought that you would even be with this person. And I want to add this too, as I'm going through the whole situation in my head. Don't let people being like, oh, I could see y'all together, or y'all would be so good together. I could see it. Don't let that start to convince you of something that you didn't even see for yourself or want for yourself, but because other people keep saying it, you're like, well, maybe they are onto something. Like, don't.
Respectfully and humbly, women, we can be very whimsical. we can be very whimsical. We love a good fairy tale. And sometimes we do that to our friends. We start to put things in their head that they may not have even been thinking, or we double down on a thought that they have when we don't need to do that. Like, my last name would sound my first name would sound so good with his last name. You don't then say when she met him 2 days ago, like, oh my gosh, it does. No, you like, girl, relax. Relax. She met him 2 days ago.
Slow down.
Calm down. Calm down. And I will say, I don't know about him being a good guy and all that other stuff. I think early on he was, he presented himself to be, but how he's handling it now tells me that he's not that great of a person with how he's doing this, because now she confirmed that he's in a situation.
So maybe he just got into a situation and he felt like the conversation he was having with the girl was inappropriate now with his new situation. So he kind of cut it off.
That's fine. But why are you being weird? Why are you now at work not speaking to me? That's crazy. Like your coworker, you just walk in the room like, I don't see her. But then also, let's not forget the part that he watches every story.
That don't mean anything.
From a fake page, Dre?
I mean, how she knows a fake page?
She has to know if she wrote that.
Well, listen, the watching people's story, I don't think is a weird, like, just in general, when people be like, oh, they ain't whatever, but they looking at my stories, I don't think that that's a weird thing. I think that people look at people's Instagram stories all the time. I think sometimes it pops into the next one. Everybody's had this to where it pops into the next one. And even if it was somebody you didn't want to look at their story, you like, oh, shoot, like, I ain't mean for it to pop over to the next one. So I don't think looking at somebody's stories mean anything. I hear people say all the time, it's like, oh, but they were looking at my stories. It's like, I
think that if we were once friendly or friends and we found each other on social media, started following each other, and now it is at a place where when you see me in person, you won't even speak to me, please unfollow me. Like, that's stupid. Like, that's strange. So that is the makings of what she is saying. Like, you cut it off. You ghosted me. You didn't say, hey, I'm in a new situation. I'm gonna just shut this situation down, but I'll see you at work. All is well. You see me at work. You don't speak to me. You have a fake page and you watch all my stories. You're weird.
See, I just...
making that right for me.
I'm not trying to take up for the guy in this, but you just gotta, with us not knowing the context of the situation, we just have to like dissect the words. Mm-hmm. So she didn't say he ignored her. He said he basically ignored me. So what does that even mean, to be basically? It seems like it's like if you were ignored, you'd be like, I said something to him, he ignored me. Mm-hmm. Is it him just being like, oh, like, hey, like if you say something, or like he acknowledged you, but not in the way that you normally are acknowledged. So then you take that as he basically is like.
So what's the whole sentence right there? Because I thought she said that he doesn't say a word to her at work.
She said, well, later down the line, mm-hmm. the communication slacked off. No more morning hour-long convos, no text, nothing. Mm-hmm. Even when I see him at work, he basically ignored me. I never question him about it because I'm a passive-aggressive person and I like to avoid conflict when situations like this occur. So that was really that part. He basically
but then she goes on. It's something where it says he doesn't say a word to me, but he watched. I feel like I read that.
As far as like the stories part,
yes.
It's been months. He will see me and not say one word, and the Negro,
yes,
still has the nerve to watch every story I post on Instagram from a fake page. Might I add, just because someone talks to you okay.
Yeah. So I mean, I think she's kind of giving us how it broke down, how it declined over time. So he started with basically ignoring you, and the original, or my advice at the top of this episode, saying like it was not anything. Let it go. You don't need closure. You don't need to. I still believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, for sure.
But specifically on the topic of if you see me and you don't speak to me, like why would you? I don't have any interest in following and looking at someone's anything that I wouldn't even speak to if I saw them in public and I actually know them. I had history with them. Like, I'm not going to do that. I have guys that I dated. Nothing crazy happened, but I don't want to actually just see you popping up in my timeline no more. It's weird. I actually probably would speak to you in person versus seeing. I don't necessarily want to keep up with your life.
But the attention seeker might do that.
He's keeping up with her life.
That's what I'm saying. He might want to see the subliminals that you posting. Is she still thinking about me?
Damn. Bloodsuckers and vultures. That's sick. That is sick. Okay.
Is she posing subliminals?
He could also be taking notes on like, let me see if she having a weak moment with this Justin LeBoy meme. Let me say, hey, how you doing? I just wanted to see how you been. I know it's been a while. I know, how I did you wasn't necessarily right. Just wishing you Godspeed. Ugh.
Crazy situation. All right, last question.
Okay.
So this is definitely related, but it's more just about the general situation. Mm-hmm. Should you get involved with people that you work with?
It's similar to what I said in the episode about, gosh, I can't remember who wrote in, but it was
Jasmine, maybe?
No, it wasn't Jasmine. Or was it? No, it wasn't Jasmine. Kalia. Dating the mutual friend. It works when it works. I have a friend who is married to her old coworker. They met at work. He was in maintenance. She was a leasing person. They started dating. They've been together now for like 15 years. They have two beautiful sons.
Congratulations to them.
Congratulations to them. I would not recommend it though.
Have you dated people you work with?
Yes.
And has it worked? Well,
no.
No.
No. If you know, it did not work. Absolutely not. Not a good. Now I think if you work for the same company, but you don't see each other every day, like
then that could be better.
That could be better. I mean, some companies are massive, different office locations. So like you technically work together. But if you go to work and you see this person every day, this is exactly why most companies have this as a policy that you should not fraternize in this way, because then what? Now what? Now that it didn't work out, are you going to be able to work with this person on a team project? Are you going to, not speak to them when we're having a team meeting because you're mad that things didn't work out? Like, I would not recommend it unless you both are exceptionally mature enough to call bygones bygones when it's all said and done, and we could just restore the relationship back to where it used to be. But otherwise, it's a no for me. What do you think?
It's a mixed thing because nobody bats 1,000, right? Mm-hmm. So that means that the chances that the person that you work with is going to be your forever person, the odds are low. So then you have to determine, is it worth taking that risk? Is it worth disrupting this work relationship or whatever to pursue this relationship with this person? Like we said in the Kalia episode, most time than not, it doesn't work. I've not seen it work. And a lot of times I see it be more physical than it is like a true meaningful relationship. Right.
Where it's like fun, where it's like,
it's fun.
You sneaky.
Yeah.
You doing it in the middle of the day in the bathroom.
Yeah.
On your lunch break. It's fun.
It's fun.
Yes.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, it's kind of almost like school, right? It's like you'll have people, you like when you go to school, you have your friends that you met at school, but then you guys continue a relationship outside of school. But then you had those friends that you met in school and you were friends with them mainly because you saw that person every single day.
Yeah.
But then outside of that, it's like you're not even really that close, honestly. Yeah. And you don't continue the relationship. And I feel like work is like that too. It's like it's somebody you're seeing for 8 hours every single day of the week. So you get to know them. You get to learn more about them. You have fun at work. You flirt and stuff like that.
They bring you lunch.
Exactly.
They always check before they go to lunch. You want anything? I'm going to your favorite spot. This is how work was, husbands and work wives. This is how they are developed.
It's a real thing.
It's a real thing.
And what you realize is that it's almost like a fantasy in a sense. It's not real. Like the connection that you guys have isn't necessarily like a real connection. It's just it's somebody you're seeing and working with every day, and you may enjoy being around them, but for a full relationship, that's a completely different thing. Yeah. I don't think I've dated so Rhonda and I used to work together. Yes, we did.
Dre was not my husband though.
I was not.
No, we never used those terms for each other.
No, even when I was single and stuff like that, that was never a thing. Now, I didn't have a lack of options to date at work. And that's not
Get this guy, man. Get this guy. Go ahead.
I'm serving for the example of this.
You're setting it up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't have the lack of options to date at work, right? I don't know. It just didn't. Well, first, there was nobody that I felt like, and I just didn't feel like it made sense to do that with anybody that we worked with.
Let's.
I mean,
we might have to move through this because this could get really dicey.
I don't think that there was anybody that I worked with directly.
Yes.
Right.
You work for the same company.
But people that work for the same company, that it was like, okay, this is possible. And I've had situations where I had to really I got uncomfortable in some situations because people was being a little pushy. And we gonna.
Yep, sure was.
We're gonna leave that there.
Should we? You don't want to go into it a little bit more? Little shoulder rubs.
I feel like if I wanted to, right, I really could have filed like a suit.
You could have, for sure. Creepy ass broad. Anywho, yeah, it's just I think in the grand scheme of it creates awkwardness if it doesn't work out. And like in that situation where I was talking about my friend who married her, coworker. Once the relationship got to a certain place, they went to their company to be moved, to be separated, because not because things were bad, but just because like when you see your person as somebody that you really like, yeah, you probably can't just always.
If I'm thinking about who you're,
I don't know. I don't think so.
I don't know if they were married prior to it, but y'all can't see this. We ain't gonna put them on blast.
No.
Okay.
No.
They were already.
I think when they were together, yeah, I think they were married before they actually started working together.
Okay.
Yeah. So no, not them. I'll tell you who it is off camera.
Okay. Got you.
But yeah, they asked to be relocated. So that, you just didn't even have people thinking that you were doing that type of stuff. Because even if you aren't like creeping off or just spending an extra long time on your lunch break, and let me not, I feel like I always sound like the old nasty aunt, but like you don't always have to be like sneaking off doing sexual stuff.
She was in the guest suite.
Maybe just you take longer lunch breaks because you just are enjoying each other, or like he come into the office much more often because his girl is in there. It's not just my coworker, so it is best that you not be in environments where you won't be able to focus. That's all I'm saying. So nah, I wouldn't do it. But if you are gonna do it, Catrice, bad, just make sure that this is not bad advice, just actually make sure that he likes you and he is showing up the way that you're showing up.
That's in everything, right? It's like actions need to follow. Don't give up more than what you're giving in a relationship.
Word.
And I think things will work out the way that they're supposed to work out.
Yeah. And he's not even talking to you. He whack. I don't like that. I can't let that go. Like, boy, ew.
I don't like when people do the social media thing, even though I don't think the stories thing is that big of a deal. I'm the type of person that if I follow you or you follow me on social media and I see you in person, I speak. Like, I don't act like some people, you'll follow them or they'll follow you, they'll like your stuff, but then they see you in person, they won't say anything. Just
you're weirdo. That's what I'm, the weirdo. I speak to the damn cashier. Don't know them from a can of paint. So now be clear. Sometimes I don't remember, or maybe you look different. There are lots of apps and things out here where we are,
or you say your handle and I'll be like, oh yeah,
I may not actually remember your face, or your face just looks very different in person than it does online. So, but if it's not that, like, what is it to speak? Sometimes I actually hate it when I see people that I recognize from social media and I don't know their names. Like, that sucks. So I'm like, hey, at so-and-so, I want to be able to greet people by their names when I see them, but I'm definitely going to speak. So this man looks you square in your face, doesn't say anything, and then logs into his fake page and watches your stories. Boy, go to hell. Go to hell.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, when it comes to closure for these situations, as we end this, is that you are kind of dodging a bullet anyway. So you should be more happy than you are upset.
Yeah.
It's like, this situation didn't work out because this person doesn't really make sense for me and they really don't seem to care about me much. So it's probably best that I get as far away from the situation as possible.
Yes, absolutely. Don't even worry about it. Yes, people can talk to you for months and not actually like you, just like themselves enough to get your attention.
Yes.
It's okay.
That's why we need to print T-shirts. Beware of the attention seekers. We need to write a book on that, just like a manual.
I think they have one, but I think
out.
it says "Don't feed the monkeys."
Oh wow, that feels racist. I don't know, like that.
Wow.
Doesn't it? You don't think so?
No, it's often a sign at zoos and things because people want to do that. But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. It's time. We need to get a lawyer. Let's talk about legal. We get off it.
I get it. They want attention at the zoo.
Yes.
Don't feed the animals, maybe.
Don't feed the animals. Maybe that's better. Just take monkeys out. Take monkeys out.
Listen,
it's okay. It's okay. Listen, we are ourselves 100% of the time.
Yes.
It felt racy to Dre in the moment. And so we just had to talk that through. Okay? We love y'all. Make sure you follow us on social. I'm at Ronnie Cakes.
That is Dre Smith.
And of course at Relationship Restored. And if you want to write in, you know where to find us, relationshiprestored.com. Hit the contact us button and write in. We love to hear your stories. We love to give you advice, good and bad.
Yep. We will catch y'all later.